now tells us the Hangout on Air is live. So hello, if anybody's seeing this, we're practicing looking at the inside of the Hangouts and the icons so that people can know what's what and where you find what you need to do this. So the first thing I did, as I said, was scrape the URL at the very top of the Hangout and put it somewhere safe in case the Hangout crashes or I lose power or whatever. On the icons on the left-hand side, we have something called Pro Studio. Pro Studio opens on the right. It will probably tell you that I've just started using it. Okay, you can use it. It allows you to put up your hand. Okay, so when you open Pro Studio, I'm hoping you're opening it as we talk, I can raise my hand and it lets the moderator know that somebody wants to talk. So if you have 3 people or 5 people in a Hangout, this is really good because it means you don't have to have people talking over each other. Okay? I can turn off my video in this streaming. Okay? We can wrap up, we can stand by, like you have all kinds of different things you can do in here. Okay, you can tell it to auto switch the windows when people are talking. I'm going to lower my hand. The other one that you're not going to see, I'm going to close that now because I can't really use it in here at the moment, or I don't need to. It's probably what I should say. Closing the apps on the left-hand menu is simply going back to the app that's open and re-clicking it, and that will actually get rid of it. So that goes for lower third as well. Natalie, you can grab your lower third if you have one handy. The Hangout toolbox is the one with the little red handle, looks like a suitcase. And for anybody who's watching this, you'll see when I open it in the save presets, I have like a dozen at least. Because I wear different hats, I have different ones that sort of show up depending on what it is I'm doing, or in the event I have to put the dogs out. Okay, so that's good. You've got a lower third. Natalie's currently using the lower third that is given, and it's the first box at the very top. Natalie, are you seeing it backwards?
Yeah.
Okay, so up in that box that says lower third, to the right of the word lower third, there's a little arrow that points to the left.
Yeah.
It will mirror the local video for you. Oh, don't turn it off. Okay, did it do that?
Yeah.
Okay, the reason that you want to do that is because YouTube, you want to be sure you have a still video that looks good for the custom thumbnail in YouTube. Too many people get picked up by YouTube. It gives you 3 opportunities when it first starts the video, and you see people like this and you know, not what you want for the one thing people see in your video. Yeah. I suggest to people either make a custom cover thumbnail that you're always going to use that has your logo and your name and whatever you want on there, some call to action, or once you get in, you know, look into the camera, smile, take a screenshot, and use that as your custom app. Depending on what you have in the background, depending on what you're doing, you can do one or the other, but it makes a lot of sense to have custom thumbnails handy.
Yeah. Where did you say to do that, Elaine? I'm not sure.
Okay, the custom thumbnails, that will be later in YouTube. We don't do it until after the fact, but taking the picture at the beginning, it gives people a reference because you're wearing the outfit that you'll be wearing when you're talking in the video, and those kind of things sometimes gives people a better idea of situation, you know, or in French, in situ, is that right?
Yeah, you're right.
Woohoo! Okay, now I had you blue boxed, or what we call centered on the thumbnail, so that you were in the big window the whole time that I was talking, and we both know that's because I don't like to look at me in the big window, which is not of any real import at the moment. The next thing that I'm going to show you, and it'll be via the video because you won't see it, is called control room. And what control room does, allows you to monitor the sound. Okay, I can turn my sound way up. I can turn my sound down. I can turn it back on. I can even turn off my own video. And I can turn off the guest's video, which will replace it with a static image. The reason for that, oh, Natalie, do you want to turn yourself back on? I did, but it didn't come on. There you go. Okay, the reason for that is when you have an awful lot of people in a summit or you're doing a big webinar, you sometimes don't want to see the other guests because it can be very distracting when there's, 10 people doing things and one person's talking in the big window. So it makes a difference. When you start, you always want to tell your guests, don't leave when we say goodbye. Because it's a live video, you're broadcasting, you want to say goodbye to the audience, but the guests, you don't necessarily want them to leave right away. So you tell them that ahead of time in what we call the green room, when you're getting set up with your lower third and everything, and then the last thing you will do is say, goodbye, it's been great having you here, we'll see you next time. Whatever your sign-off is, for Dr. Natalie, it's going to be about real health. For myself, it's True Social Media. And what I'm going to do now is stop this broadcast, but I'm going to make sure that my guest stays in the room with me. And